Step into the Trademark, your go-to podcast for everything marketing in the trades. Hosted by award-winning industry marketing experts Ghirardo from Remarketable and Eric Thomas from Rival Digital. Together, we're here to unite the worlds of trades and marketing, bringing you insights, stories, and strategies from the heart of the industry. Whether you're a trade professional, a marketing expert, or somewhere in between, this is the place for you. Listen in as we're here for the big ideas, the game changers, and the everyday successes. Because at the Trademark, we're with the trades and for the trades.
Good morning, AHR Expo.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's going on, everyone? We are here live in front of a slam-packed room. They don't have to know.
Yeah, there's like 60,000 people staring at us.
There is so many people here. This is unreal. Please take a seat. Take a seat.
It's okay to take photos.
We are here live at AHR Expo. Welcome back to the TradeMarke Podcast. We've got a really exciting guest with us that we're going to be chatting with this morning. We got Krista Laden from
Gulf Shore Air Conditioning.
Gulf Shore Air Conditioning down in the Destin, Florida area.
Yes. Happy to come further south for a bit.
So tell us about you. I know that you're involved a lot with Lady Titans.
Yeah.
And I really want to get that out there and tell the world all about Lady Titans. So let's start with that. And then we're going to go into your story. Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I am a sitting chair board member as the marketing director for Lady Titans. This is our second year. Really, really excited to be a part of that organization and everything that our founders and founding board members set forth and put us together and in place for us to be successful and support women in the trades of all trades. So plumbing, heating, air conditioning, electrical, garage doors, you name it, anything in the home services, we are here to support the women in the trades. So really, really excited to be a part of that for my second year and excited to see the future of that organization grow.
Yeah. And how big is that group now?
Oh gosh, our Facebook group is up to like 1,800 members.
Wow.
So like wild that we just are compounding all of the women and getting them in our organization. We offer 2 free monthly meetings to where that women can come and discuss operational issues, anything that they're having problems with, Service Titan related. Once a month, we get them on there for our lounge, and it's just an open concept style conversation to where that they can get help with whatever they've got going on. And then the other meeting that we have that's free every month is our Spotlight series, where we bring in a member from either our own community of Lady Titans, or we bring in an outside participant to provide leadership, growth learning, that type of style meeting so that all of our members just rise together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love Lady Titans. It was a great organization. We started with 3, and then it built to 300, and then it built to 1,800, and we did that within a year and a half, and then they just took it on and made it a nonprofit and kept going. It's a great group to join. It's still free to join, right?
Yes, absolutely free to join.
Absolutely. So if you have any inkling in the trades of, they support people in the trades, it's not just for women, but most definitely join Lady Titans and get out there and really participate, because the more you participate, the more you learn and grow together. And that's really what, any organization is about in the trades.
I've got a question about time management.
Yeah.
So it seems like the more folks I meet, the more it's like, well, I run an air conditioning business. I'm also involved in this. And like I know, like Sarah does pretty much all of the things, which I struggle with time management, like running a business and then also doing other extracurricular activities. Do you have any tips for me or listeners, all of the folks in the crowd here, some tips for like what that time management looks like, being busy with running a business and doing some of these extracurriculars?
Yeah, for sure. I wake up at the butt crack of dawn.
Yeah.
So if you're not a morning person, don't take on extra work.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, I have learned to do a really good job at time blocking. So I will dedicate, 4 hours in the morning to working for Gulf Shore in our peak hours that, I'm needed as our marketing or IT manager to be available for any sort of issues that is happening at the shop. I'm also 90% remote, so I only go into the office 1 day a week. And so for me, dedicating that time block of, okay, I need to schedule these sort of meetings in terms of that are marketing or IT related for Gulf Shore. I also need to be available for the team. And then I also do a really good job of blocking out my time for, okay, I need to take an hour at lunch to dedicate to Lady Titans to do XYZ for that organization.
Okay.
Or I have 2 small children, so once they go to bed at night, if what I didn't get done that was majorly needed to be done for that day, I always just sit down and take 30 minutes to 45 minutes to an hour at the end of the night before I retire for the night and knock out those last few tasks that are needed just to get it out of my brain space.
Yeah, I like that. So time blocking is huge.
Time blocking is huge. And then telling yourself you're not busy. Right? Like that's a weird thing to tell yourself because you're like, you'll always be chasing busy.
Yeah.
So time blocking is huge, but also giving yourself grace in time and knowing that like nobody's going to die because you are a marketer and you're not going to get that task done, right?
Yeah.
The business is still going to run because you're a consistent marketer.
Yeah.
Service Titan's not going to fall because all of a sudden they don't have an email template is what I would say, right? So, my extracurriculars are scheduled within my time.
Yeah.
And if I can't make it, I can't make it. I travel a lot, right?
I know for a fact that Sarah does a great job with this because I see on the calendar, even for the podcast, Sarah will be like, block, do not book.
Yeah, it's important. Your time is infinite, non-existent, and scarce all at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how I think about time. And I'm just like, okay, because I was doing some energy work and my healer, she was like, I went to a shamanic healer and she was like, why do you feel like your time is limited? She's like, it's infinite, it's non-existent, and it's scarce. She's like, but you're chasing that limited, that scarcity. And she was like, so you need to shift your thoughts, your mindset. And so ever since then, I just keep repeating that to myself to, allow myself time to breathe.
Yeah.
So really important. So let's talk about your business.
Yeah.
Right? So you're here in Florida.
Yes, we serve the Okaloosa and Walton County communities, and that is basically from Destin, Fort Walton Beach area, all the way to Santa Rosa Beach, Inlet Beach, Panama City Beach. So we've got, it's about like a 50-mile radius from our shop, so it's quite a big service area. We also have technically 3 huge military installations that we have to navigate around. The Gulf of Mexico is what, we border. And so we've got, a bay that we have to cross all day, 4 times a day. Our technicians are driving across bodies of water just to get from one side to the other. So our windshield time is through the roof, and, it's not something that really can be managed. But we do the best that we can.
Yeah. Well, you can dispatch from zones, right?
Yeah.
We try to do that to the best of our ability. Right. But if one bridge shuts down,
your zone is done.
The whole thing is messed up. So.
Yeah. So how long have you been at that company?
I have been with Gulf Shore now 13 and a half years.
Wow.
So this is my entire professional career. I graduated college, found the job opportunity listed at our local community college for an administrative assistant, and I have just worked my way up since then.
That's so great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What are some of the biggest lessons you learned along the way from admin assistant to where you are now?
Oh, gosh. I have learned so much since being at this organization. I've learned that every day, loving that I learned something new. There is so much to learn about any trade, but I feel like the home services trade is so like far reaching. I don't think that like any technician could ever learn everything there is to know.
Yeah.
Because there's so much new technology coming out. And even as a business operator, like there's so much new technology with AI and automation and everything that like I'm constantly just a sponge to take it all in. So that would probably be like my biggest thing is just be a sponge at whatever organization that you function in. Be willing to take the time, ask the questions, research, watch videos, invest in yourself.
Nice.
I love that. Yeah.
Marketing.
Yeah.
How does that look? What does that look like down there? Because I know we were chatting a little while ago a lot about like property management and yeehaw PCB. So much fun. I love going down there. There's a it's not Senior Frogs down in PCB. There's
Club La Vila.
It's kind of like a Senior Frogs. Pineapple Willie's.
Okay.
I went to Pineapple Willie's in 2020 during COVID, and it was so weird because they would only let in like 10 people at a time. And usually I'm sorry, this is just a funny story for all of our listeners in the crowd right now. Yes, thank you. It's a good one. They were only letting in like 10 people at a time in Pineapple Willie's. And usually Pineapple Willie's is like a big, like blowout party type place. And it was so weird because it was like the music was still going, but there was just like 10 people in there at a time.
Yeah.
Anyways, so what does the marketing thing look like when it comes to, working with property management companies and then also even in that type of spread out service area?
Yeah. So marketing is a little bit different at every organization, of course. For us, we focus heavily on investing in our community. So for our homeowners, that is their homestead, they are 100% invested in spending the time at that home, and that's their primary residence, really participating in community events. So getting involved with our local high school, sponsoring all of the 5Ks, doing all of the things to invest in our locals is really where we strive to spend our marketing dollars and our time and invest in. Outside of that, it's a lot of website SEO being top ranked as much as we can. We have never run Google ads.
I love that.
Don't need it.
Yeah.
We have a great SEO partner that we've partnered with over the last 2 years that I can't thank enough for what he's done for us. And in that change, I thought that we would have to run Google ads.
Yeah.
We literally flipped our website on a head and started from scratch. And he did such a phenomenal job that we didn't have to do what we thought that we were going to have to do.
Yeah, that's great.
And so the only thing that we operate on from new marketed leads is GLS, which we're always number 3, rotating in and out.
Yeah.
There are other competitors in our area that will be 1 and 2, and I can never beat them. That's just not something that I can compete with.
There's some psychology to that though, where folks will more often choose number 2 or number 3.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah. So not mad about that. We have a very strong branding strategy with our local magazines.
Okay.
So we are really, really big in the high-end premier magazines that serve our area. There's 2 major publications that people constantly tell us that they leave on their on their table and reread month after month. One of them is like a who's who, what's what, where's where type of magazine. So these photographers go out to all of the major events in our community and will take pictures of everyone that's in attendance. And so everyone always keeps that because then they get to see oh, Johnny was there, so-and-so was there, I was there, my picture made it. So all of those things. And so we have a full page ad in that magazine. So you can't miss our ad when you're flipping through going, okay, well, who was at, the Pearls and Peace conference or, event last night. So that one has been a great strategy for us. Both of those major publications in our area do annual awards.
Okay.
And we have been a recipient of the best HVAC contractor in both of those for multiple years running.
Awesome.
One of them since 2010. So
nice.
16 years in a row or something crazy. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
All of that stuff works together. I think that's also great. I think that you guys are doing a great job. That's great. I think a lot of times folks get so dependent on PPC that they spend all their time, money, and energy worrying about that, and then they're leaving all this other stuff on the table, like the local publications, the sponsoring the whatever Pearls and the local wine festival.
Yeah,
they forget all the other little things, and so all their time goes into PPC, and then they just end up being frustrated.
Yeah, I feel like Google's a FOMO, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, if I'm not on Google, then where will I be? Well, there's lots of Google inventory, but it's changing.
Yeah.
As we speak, the search is changing.
Yes.
And so it's not just going to be Google. You
No.
will be chasing ChatGPT. You will be chasing, I'm sure, Perplexity, all Gemini, all of these different AI searches. And so now it's they're going to be, where do I go?
Yeah.
That's where, the confusing part is, and the chaos that we see in search and marketing that's heading.
Yeah.
But you own your local.
Yes.
And you own your email list, and you own your list.
Yes.
And so be where you're own, use what you own.
Yes.
And I think the local events there, it's not just about local events. And when I was talking about hyper local at the marketing summit, I was like, hey, they were giving me all these great ideas. They're like, let's do a parade. And I was like, cool. What would you bring to that parade that someone is going to memorize, and use?
So I will tell y'all that when I started at Gulf Shore, I always wanted to be in the parades.
Yeah.
And my team helped me construct on a spare trailer a shrimp boat.
I love that.
Out of plywood and all the things. And we went with, a nautical theme. I mean, our dolphin is our mascot. And so we went with a nautical theme. I cannot tell you how many times when we had that in the parades that people didn't turn their head and go was that really just a shrimp boat?
Yeah.
What was that? That just drove by us waving on a shrimp boat, and people loved it.
Yeah.
I miss the thing like nothing else. But it was so hard to keep it clean, maintained, housed, all of that after I think about 4 years, it just started rotting away and we had to destroy it.
That's awesome. And yeah, to Sarah's point, people have to think about it beyond just the ROI and the call to action even with parades. I've heard this dozens of times because we work and talk with contractors all over the place, and they're always like, how do I track a parade? It's you don't track the parade. You show up in a shrimp boat and you do something so crazy that everyone's like, oh my God, Gulf Shore, that's the shrimp boat company.
Yeah, and you have a whole house fan and it blows bubbles.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you can take that shrimp boat thing and that gets, people don't realize there's layers to this stuff. So once everyone's like, oh my God, I love the shrimp boat. Well, now this shrimp boat thing has evolved its way into your brand.
Yeah.
And so now you could there's a million different things you could do with that. You could have Shrimpy, the mascot. You could have all kinds of stuff that goes on with it. And then it's just like Red Robin.
Yeah.
Well,
and the other thing that we did with parades is I only ever did this once, but if I had an infinite amount of time, I would do it every year that we participate in parades. I would go to Sam's Club and buy them out of Swiss Miss hot chocolate
Nice
packets. And then I would hand sticker the Swiss Miss hot chocolate packets that would say, cold outside, drink this. Cold inside, call us. And it would have a sticker with our logo, our phone number, all of that. That was before I had any tracking number. So I don't even know what the return on that was. But I mean, it tore it open once and it was gone. But it made everyone smile and laugh that saw it.
Yeah. It's you win their hearts and you can win their minds.
You can win their checkbook.
Right. I was gonna say their pockets, but I was like, wait, Sarah, B. It's the minds. It's like the Wizard of Ads thing. But no, it's true. It's like if you touch someone's heart, if you feel with your brand, there is no ROI. You're not going to see a direct reflection of, hey, this dollar, you touched my heart, here's $1.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But you're going to see your brand awareness increase. You're going to be talked about.
Yes.
And that is forever.
Yeah.
And so I just think that's really cool. What other cool things do you do before we wrap up here?
Oh, gosh. Back to sponsoring events. We all, have different connections and things of what we can provide to events. So our big thing is we have a great partner in our community where we buy all of our gas from. So we only go to one gas station, and that lady gives us a really good deal on bottled water. And so we buy pallets of bottled water from her at a time. And so in doing that, anytime we sponsor a 5K, I always say, I want to be your water sponsor.
I like that.
I'll come and set up a table and pass out as many bottles of water as your people can drink that participate. And so I have 2 small children. My 5-year-old is now old enough to come to events with me on the weekends and participate. And that's his job, is to hand out the water. And everyone loves it. The little kid wearing the Gulf Shore t-shirt. You want a bottle? You want a bottle?
Yeah.
You want a bottle? Everyone loves it.
Yeah, my kids split with me everywhere.
Yeah.
We did feed the need, and my kids were fighting over who was going to be the carrot.
Yes.
It was the best thing. And I was like, but they're they grew up in the trades. Like as a single mom, I had to take them with me everywhere. And now it's like I get to take them to conferences and show them what is happening and show them how like I grew up too.
Yeah.
And it's just so cute. So stay connected.
Yes.
Teach the trades to your children. And thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. Is there anything that you'd like to say before we sign off?
No, I'm just appreciative to be a part. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Yes.
Thank you for everyone that's sitting out here listening to us right now. We really appreciate the silent on set. And so thank you all again for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
And that wraps up another episode of The Trademark, where we bridge the worlds of the trades and marketing, one story at a time. We can't wait to see you next time. Thank you to the trades for giving back big, loving big, and taking massive action. Don't forget to join us next time for more engaging conversations and innovative ideas. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a review and share it with your colleagues and friends in the trades and marketing. Your support means the world to us. Stay connected with us off the air by following us on social media. We'd love to hear your thoughts and get your feedback. Until next time, keep making your mark in the trades. Thank you for listening to The Trademark. Goodbye for now, and remember, we're with the trades for the trades.